Hi, my name is Sara Beaman, and I'd like to share with you some of my favorite strategies for keeping my mind clear and my thoughts organized during belly dance improv performances. I think that most of us tend to feel like when we perform improv, we're being too boring. We're either doing moves that are too simple or too easy, or we're doing the moves too many times in a row. But I think that in general, our audiences have much more tolerance for repetition and simplicity than we tend to think. And sometimes repetition and simplicity can allow us as performers to feel more comfortable on stage and to actually get into the performance and emote and connect with the music. Each of these exercises is going to present a different method of keeping our mind nice and clear and utilizing things like simplicity and repetition in effective ways to create compositions that make sense on the fly. In this exercise, the strategy that we're going to use to keep our thoughts organized is to focus on one zone of the body at a time. We're going to start with hand movements, and then we're going to move into doing arm moves, then shoulder moves, then chest moves, then some movements of the spine, so undulations and things like that. Then we'll do some hip movements. Then we'll focus on our feet for a little while. I recommend using this strategy for any kind of improv, but especially when you're using slow music. It's a great way of both keeping your mind clear and also helping the audience make visual sense out of what they're seeing, because each movement will be connected to the one that comes after it. So I'm going to put on some music and let's get started. All right, the music is about to begin. You're going to notice that I'm going to spend a lot of time with each body part. This is so that we're really just making sure that we're keeping ourselves calm and exhausting all of our options from place to place. You can try to follow along and do the exact same moves I'm doing, or just use what I'm doing as a structure for your own improv. So I'm going to start off by doing some movements of my hands. Now I'm going to move into full arm movement, so I can use my entire arm, not just my hands. Let's do some shoulder movements. And let's move into movements of the chest. And let's do some full spine undulations. So we're going to use our entire back here. Let's focus on our feet for a while. I might still do some hip movements and body movements with my feet, but I'm going to think about my feet primarily. Whoops, I got up into my arms. That's alright, let's get back down into our feet. And let's come back into our hips. Focus on those for a little while. And let's go from our hips to our hands. So I'm going to connect those with a complementary movement. Move back into just hand movements for a little while. Alright, so believe it or not, that was about 7 minutes of improv. So, in a practical performance situation, I might not spend quite as much time focused on each individual body part. I spent almost a minute at a time with each body part in the exercise that I just showed you. I actually think that it looks okay having watched the video, but I can see why you might want to spend a little bit less time, especially if your music isn't 7 minutes long. But I don't recommend skipping around too very frequently if you're going to use this strategy. Just try to calm down and really think about a number of different moves that you can do in each zone before you move on to the next zone. As a final note, a key to pulling off this kind of improv and having it look nice is to just really 100% commit to every move that you're doing. Don't second guess yourself. It's harder said than done, but you want to avoid any kind of thoughts of, is this boring, or am I doing this move too many times? And just really, really try to engage with each moment. Of course, you can also add in extra body movements from other parts of the body. So as you noticed, when I was focused on my hips, I was also adding in some hand movements sometimes and some arm movements sometimes. But try not to overcomplicate things. When things get overcomplicated, they look frantic or spastic. And it's hard for your audience to engage with what it is you're doing. And it's also hard for you to engage with what it is you're doing. So once again, the key is just really focusing on one thing at a time, put all of your mental energy there, and just feel it from the inside out. Really try to get every single drop out of each movement. Good luck.